When political theater spills out of the chamber and onto the steps of Congress, it looks exactly like this. What began as a simple walk toward the Capitol turned into a fiery face-off between Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Lawler, an unfiltered exchange that says more about the state of American politics than any polished speech ever could.
We got a one-year extension. Why don't we sign on right now?
Let me ask you a question. Did you get
right
permission
now?
from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend
Did
the
your
ACA
did your
right
boss,
now.
Donald Trump,
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
So let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did
I
you vote to shut it
Let
down?
me ask you a question.
For years, you always
Well,
lectured about how we need to
you're
keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
You could sign on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment
chasing
here is
clout.
you.
You're an
You
embarrassment.
could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here.
Let me
Why
ask you a
won't you
question.
sign on
Let me ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a clean
Let me
extension
ask you a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history, including, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
You want to cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
voted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the way.
You voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New York,
Let me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2
If
billion
you're gonna-
were wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me.
Wasted
You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why don't
Go
you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up. You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
for this. You can extend it right
A
now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of
but
Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That
No
would have been a
one-
massive tax increase
one-
on Americans all across the country.
You're
You support
here,
that?
unfortunately,
You're against
to do
lifting the cap on
bidding
salt?
of your billionaire donors.
The
That's
billionaire
unfortunate.
donors lifting the
That's
cap on
correct.
salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income
Where
cap.
the rest
Well,
of
didn't you
your
want all
Republican
Republicans
colleagues?
to be here?
Where
I'm
the rest,
here.
Where are the rest of your Republican
You wanted
colleagues?
Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you
And
here?
by the way,
What-
you can pass an ACA extension right now. Sign
Did your
on to this
boss-
bill.
Did your boss
Sign
Donald
on
Trump,
to the bill.
Is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
Why won't you get on it?
Because you don't work for the American people.
Oh, I do. I
don't
work for the people of New
17th
York. I
Congressional
work for the
District.
people of my district.
Is that why you? Is that
I'm
why
here.
You got 145,000
And by the way, I voted
people on
for a
Medicaid.
clean CR to keep the government open
Mike,
and funded.
you're-
You voted to shut it
You're
down.
embarrassing yourself right
Yeah,
now.
leader, with all due
Well, as we
respect,
would say
you're
back
the
in the-
one.
why are you playing yourself?
You're the one
Why are
who
you playing
actually
yourself with
voted
these
to shut the
theatrics?
government down.
Actually, you
It's
know
sad.
that's not true.
It's sad. You voted to shut the government
Listen,
down.
Do Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the President?
Right, and
correct?
you're smart enough to know
that
that you
right?
need 60 votes in the Senate,
Is
right?
that right? No.
Do you need 60 votes in the Senate
Was
or no?
60 votes needed to pass your one big ugly bill?
Reconciliation, which you
Was
did with the
60
IRA,
was
and
60
boy, that really reduced inflation.
Are you
did a
trying to
great job
elevate
there.
yourself because you're afraid
I'm not
you're
trying
about
to elevate
lose
myself.
re-election?
No, I'm not going to lose
me ask you a
re-election.
question.
You spent $42 million last cycle.
Mike,
You didn't do
Mike,
that
let me ask you a
great.
question. Why aren't you running for governor right now? You spent,
Because I
you spent a
actually
year and a half.
enjoy this job, and I'm here to do
You
it. And
enjoy-
by the way,
you
you
enjoy
could actually
embarrassing
pass.
yourself?
You could actually pass
You enjoy being a lackey for
subsidy
Donald
right
Trump?
now
Is that
to
right?
ensure that people don't have health care premiums going up. Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it. Jared Golden.
Let me ask you a question.
Marie
Let me ask you a
Glusenkamp
question.
Perez.
Let me ask you
Are
a
they
question.
wrong?
Your
Don
other-
Davis.
Your other boss,
Are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson. I challenged him to a debate
Yeah.
on the floor. Did he send you?
No, I'm here
On
on
his
my
behalf,
behalf
'cause he's
of my
afraid to debate,
constituents
is
because
that
you
right?
shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as a result of your ridiculous ploy because you're so afraid of Zohran Mandami. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for
first
mayor?
First of all, are you?
Are you going to endorse him for mayor?
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh, why is that? Because you don't want to answer the
Is
question?
this supposed to be a video for your failed
You don't want
re-election?
to.
Is
You
that
don't.
what's
You
going
don't
on
want to
right
answer
now?
the question. Do you support Zohran? By the way, did you see his
Listen.
statement yesterday?
Listen.
An embarrassment on October 7th, blaming the Jews. You support that? Should he be the Democratic nominee for mayor?
First of all, I don't answer to you. You
Should
don't
he be
even
the Democratic
answer to
mayor?
yourself.
Should he be the
You don't
Democratic
even-
nominee
I'll
for
answer
mayor?
whatever questions I need to answer about
Okay,
the
so you
man's
think
race,
his
about
statement
the Ameri-
yesterday was okay?
First of all,
All right.
we're-
That's sad.
First of all,
It's unfortunate.
Don't come with this phony
These are bills.
No.
These are bills. They're not phony.
It's
They're
not
real
a bill
bills.
that Republicans are even prepared to bring to the floor.
There's 11 Republicans on it. There's 4 Democrats. It's a bipartisan bill to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. If you believe in it so much,
math?
why won't you sign on to it?
Do you understand math?
You could get your whole conference to sign on today. Your whole conference could sign on to this.
There are 220 Republicans
right
in the House right now.
You have 215 Democrats.
With 11?
You have 215 Democrats.
Right?
Well, how many votes does it take in the House? 218.
Are you mathematically challenged, bro?
No, I think you are. You have 215 Democrats. You could all sign on to this today with 11 Republicans. It'd be great.
I've indulged you. I've given you your 15 minutes of
You haven't answered any of the questions.
You're a complete and total embarrassment.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing yourself in your district right now, and you're going down to defeat next year.
What we just witnessed wasn't just another shouting match on Capitol Hill. It was a window into the very dysfunction at the heart of Washington, where partisan theater often takes center stage while the American people remain in the audience, waiting for real solutions. That heated back and forth between Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and Republican Congressman Mike Lawler was ostensibly about health care subsidies. But beneath that surface, it was about something much larger: power, perception, and political survival. Lawler came into that exchange pressing Jeffries to support a 1-year extension of the Affordable Care Act's enhanced premium tax credits. That's House Bill 5145, a bipartisan proposal backed by a handful of moderates from both parties. These subsidies have been vital in keeping health insurance premiums affordable for millions of Americans, particularly middle-income families who don't qualify for Medicaid but still struggle to pay full-price insurance. Now, the bill's Republican sponsors say this short-term extension would prevent premiums from spiking next year while Congress debates longer-term reforms. But Democrats, led by Jeffries, have been pushing for a permanent solution, not just another patch that kicks the can down the road. And that's where this confrontation exploded. Lawler accused Jeffries of blocking a bipartisan deal just to score political points, arguing that Democrats are letting perfect become the enemy of good. Jeffries, on the other hand, fired back that Republicans like Lawler are the ones playing politics, offering bipartisanship only when it's convenient and refusing to tackle the structural inequities in the healthcare system. And that's really the heart of this fight. It's not just about 1-year extensions or budget lines, it's about 2 competing visions of what government should do for its people. Jeffries represents the faction that believes healthcare is a public good, a moral obligation, something that should not fluctuate based on which party holds power. Lawler, representing the moderate Republican lane, argues that incremental compromise is better than legislative paralysis, that temporary solutions are still progress in a gridlocked Congress. But the emotional edge of this exchange, the insults, the interruptions, the personal jabs about bosses and billionaire donors, shows how fragile even the pretense of bipartisanship has become. These men weren't just disagreeing on policy, they were accusing each other of bad faith, of not even caring about the truth. And here's what's tragic. Both of them had valid points buried beneath the shouting. Lawler is right that families need relief now. Premiums are expected to rise sharply if Congress doesn't act. But Jeffries is also right that temporary patches create uncertainty and perpetuate a system where Americans' access to health care depends on yearly political battles. So what this moment revealed is the deeper crisis of American governance, the inability of even well-meaning lawmakers to step outside campaign mode long enough to govern. Every debate is now a performance for the cameras, every policy fight a proxy for the next election. And when that happens, the real losers are ordinary Americans. The single parent juggling 2 jobs whose health insurance premium might jump by hundreds of dollars. The senior choosing between medication and groceries. The young family trying to stay insured as prices climb. This confrontation wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a symptom of a larger disease, a political culture where cooperation is seen as weakness, where performative conflict has replaced productive dialogue, and where the art of compromise has been replaced by the art of going viral. Whether you side with Jeffries or Lawler, what's clear is that the public deserves more than sound bites and spectacle. The stakes are real, the consequences tangible, and the frustration bipartisan. So as viewers, as citizens, the takeaway shouldn't just be who won that argument, but what's being lost in the noise. Focus, empathy, and the collective will to actually fix what's broken. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to subscribe to Left Lens, where we cut through the noise, unpack the substance, and give you the story behind the spectacle. Because democracy only works when we understand it deeply enough to demand better.